This is the brave tale of the Ballad of Gogmagog. Back in the mists of a mythic time, with the world but half explored, our tight-knit crew clambered out of the blue on a far-flung western shore. We had narrowly escaped with our hearts intact when our hopes had been razed to the ground. But we clung to a spark through the leaky dark, unaware of where we were bound. When the great green hills raised their heads to sing, one and all, and hand in hand, what we saw in that view was our dreams come true, and we stooped to kiss the dry land. Out spake our captain, brave and bold, with his bright, unflinching gaze. We will burn the boat that has kept us afloat, and it is here that we'll spend our days. But behind the screen of the settler's dream lurks truth's indigenous curse. You may stretch your hand to grasp the land. But the natives got here first. So, just as our hopes sang home and dry, we finally sense our place. That sceptred isle cracked a crooked smile. She was home to a giant race. Gaunt and grim were the ogre clan that stanked through mire and bog. The worst of all was oak tree tall, and his name was Gogmagog. Forget you the past, roared Gogmagog. Forget you the future too. You cannot escape through my landscape. I will squeeze all the hope out of you. Then up jumped the cabin boy, Corrin, a hero in our midst. He'd a trusty hand and a merry heart, and they called him Thunder Fist. Yes, up jumped Corrin, standing 5'0", his smile as bright as day. Though our path seems blocked by this monstrous rock, I'm sure we'll find a way. No sword, no shield, nor knife concealed, no weapon shall I take, but the sail that bore our ship to shore shall a canvas jacket make. With muscle and bone I'll stand alone and bear my empty hand. I'll pit my brain gainst his might and main, and fight him man to man. So from our cave crept we, bold and brave, unsure which song to sing. As high on a cliff where the breeze hung stiff, we formed our wrestling ring. Like a Christmas play, Corrin cleared the way. A room, brave gallants, room! But the skies grew dim as the truth rolled in, like a towering cloud of doom. Gogmagog he scowled and spat. Who is this weedy squirt? In 2 quick ticks with a finger's flick, I'll grind him into the dirt. Gwarihweg you gwariteg was the oath that the wrestlers swore. Mea de dole, we heard them growl. Hep garoda na trator. Now Corrin's wish was a slippery fish. He planned to dodge and weave. Straight out of the book he showed a neat forecrook, but the giant played the underheave. Hitched high above in the giant's hug, our man tried to double sprag, but our hearts stood still on that wind-blown hill. We heard his ribs go crack. Crack, 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 sang the cabin boy's bones. Gogmagog held his victory roar. With a kick in the guts like a sack of spuds, Corrin tumbled down to the floor. It was just begun, yet the fight was done, and the giant's boast rang true. He had squished our hope like a bar of soap. Not one of us knew what to do. Yet, crippled with pain, Corin rose up again in a manner that few would dare. Before our eyes, to the world's surprise, he had pulled off the flying mare. With a startling dart of the wrestler's art and every last scrap of strength, he gave a shoulder dip and a bounce of the hip, and he'd thrown the giant full length. One instant there were the wrestling pair, black against the high green hoe, then Corin alone, as Gogmagog hurtled into the waves below. We heard his call, we saw him fall, flung from the island shore. Then the monstrous bulk of the giant's hulk crashed to the ocean floor. A titanic jolt like a thunderbolt ripped through the deep sea bed, the seismic shock forcing waves of rock to upthrust over our head. We stood and gaped at a fresh landscape, with open mouth and eye. Where once rolled sea stood a new country, proudly high and dry. 'Twas a horn-shaped land with a granite spine of lofty tumbling tors, where rich lodes fizzed and minerals fused neath golden furze-clad moors. Wooded dale and pastured vale in pleasing patchwork laid, round craggy cape and cosy cove, where fish and lobster played. Out spake our captain one more time, and shaking Corin's hand, "Our British crew was saved by you, so this shall be your land. Take kith and kin to hope and dream, in peace to live and die. Kidja the viz," he smiled and winked, "go forth and multiply. Dig deep, sing up, laugh loud and long, be ready at the call. Welcome strangers, honour friends, remember one and all." So Corin set his best foot forth into this land we know, our source, our strength, our rest at length, our rock, our home, Kurno. And now the centuries have spun their tangled webs of time, perhaps no seasons left for myth, no reasons left in rhyme. But when our future hopes and dreams seem crushed or lost in fog, like Corin, we'll stand, hand in hand, we'll vanquish Gogmagog.